Hello and welcome to the CTM News Break, where we keep you up to date on what's happening right here in town. I'm Diane Sherritt-Steimel. The news that an asphalt plant will open in Westford has infuriated some of their Chelmsford neighbors who live near the proposed site, and hundreds of people from both towns held a protest recently. Their concerns, health and environmental effects, as well as the potential impact on property values. Angry neighbors making clear how they feel about the controversial settlement between Westford and Nashua-based Newport Materials.
And so we're really here just to voice our concerns and to ask our town government to please reconsider their actions and to listen to what we have to say. We're concerned about our health, our property values, our quality of life. We don't feel this asphalt plant fits in with our community character. And we would really like them to reconsider their decision to settle.
We've looked at a number of issues that we believe just doesn't make it appropriate for this community's character. It's just not appropriate to put here.
After a 6-year legal fight, Westford announced that Newport Materials will be permitted to open the asphalt manufacturing plant at its Groton Road property near Fletcher's Quarry, a decision neighbors are determined to fight, even though the town would place restrictions on the project and receive benefits from the company. In addition to these demonstrators, 1,700 people signed an online petition against the settlement agreement, and hundreds turned out for a public meeting to voice their concerns. Some opponents of the site feel they were ignored during the mediation process and are challenging the decision.
We feel they really sort of snuck around behind our back, knowing full well that we didn't want it, and reached a settlement with this corporation anyway, and we're very disappointed in that.
After all the intense pressure, Westford officials say they'll try to pull out of that deal with Newport Materials. In other news, McCarthy Middle School formally took on their role as a regional model school for Project Fit America with an opening day kickoff and fitness celebration.
1, 2, 3.
Students demonstrated exercises on their new outdoor fitness equipment. Pat Patriot from the New England Patriots was there, along with school officials and representatives from Lowell General Hospital.
Our PE staff worked awfully hard putting this grant together, along with Katie Sims, the department coordinator of PE and Health. So again, this is just a celebration of a nice partnership between the school and Lowell General Hospital and the greater community.
Project Fit America creates and donates fitness programs to schools to help kids be more active, fit, and healthy.
Good evening, everyone. It's April 5th, 2016, and two things of import have happened today. The first is that the Red Sox opened their season and won their first game, 6-2. Go Sox. The second is that the town of Chelmsford held its annual spring town election, and we're here to give you live coverage and live results, and with me is the inestimable Glenn Thorne.
I'm going to have to look that up after we talk tonight.
Welcome back, Glenn.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for the invitation to be here.
Great to have you again. This has been an interesting election because of, as much as anything, of the weather. We had this late season snowstorm yesterday. Left the whole place covered, and pretty cold this morning, cold and windy, and I'm guessing that might have had something to do with the turnout.
It might have. It reminds me of an election a long time ago when they actually had to cancel the election. You remember that one?
I do.
We were out there holding signs, and they had to redo the election 2 weeks later. That was a real chore.
Right, and according to town clerk, the town clerk here, the turnout has been about 10% today. Obviously, we'd like it to be a little bit higher than that. Glenn and I voted, so we're in the clear here. But it is, weather, and also it is not one of the most hotly contested election seasons that we've had here in town. There are a couple of contested elections, and we'll get to those in a minute. But the general landscape has been one of relative calm, relative quiet. Punctuated, I have to say, by a couple of announcements some months ago of incumbents probably sure to be reelected who opted not to run again. And on the Board of Selectmen, that was Matt Hansen and Janet Askenberg, two of the big players out of the 5.
And that was partly a surprise. I thought Matt would run again. You know, I didn't know what Janet's plans were, so I mean that was partly a surprise. But it's good to have new people on the boards, or people that have been there and come back to add some continuity. But change is good. We had talked a little bit about town meeting reps before this show started, and it is a very important position because a town meeting really decides, where the budget's going to be spent, what the priorities of the town are. The selectmen and other officers, they generally promote particular issues, but it's really a town meeting where things are decided. So it becomes very important that the town meeting reps, do the homework, read the brochures that come out from the finance committee on what's going on, and bring their best game to town meeting. And I know some of the people who wanted a write-in vote will do just that because they're anxious to become town meeting reps and get into the action.
Hello. Welcome to the Chelmsford Public Schools Fine and Performing Arts Department TV show, Spotlight on Fine Arts. My name is Jenna Bergoli. This month, we will be talking to some talented CHS students who are also involved in the children's play. We're also going to meet some members of the CHS marching band who recently hosted their band camp. So now on to this first episode of this academic year.
Hi, I'm Jana Goodwin. Did you know that the Chelmsford High School Band, Chorus, and Orchestra are performing at Disney World this spring? The marching band is preparing for their trip by playing to the music of Aladdin at this year's halftime show. It's a whole new world of fun on the field. Let's join the band director, Matthew Sexauer, the 2 drum majors, Megan Long and David Cody, and freshman, Natalie Tierney.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Spotlight on Fine Arts of this academic year. My name is Christy Whittlesey, and I'm the Fine and Performing Arts Coordinator of the Chelmsford Public Schools. And it's my pleasure to welcome these talented student musicians and their director to our show. So welcome, I'm so glad you could be here.
We're playing an arrangement of the music from Aladdin. It's a little bit of a spin on the music. It's got like a Latin jazz feel to it, so it's a really cool arrangement. But we like to use Disney music in the fall of the years that we're going to it on a Disney trip to sort of hype up the trip and just kind of make it more magical that way.
And so we're going to show this little clip from band camp, some behind the scenes, and people will see the students dressed in Disney attire, and that was the one day that everybody dresses up in costume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Lowell Folk Festival, the largest free folk festival in the United States. Today's broadcast is produced by Chelmsford Telemedia and comes to you from Boarding House Park in historic downtown Lowell, showcasing music and dance from across the country and around the world, all at the Lowell Folk Festival.
Put your hands together for Miss Early Surdy. Hey, Surdy. You should serve alone. Oh, Surdy. Hey, Surdy. Oh, yeah. Surdy. You should serve him. Can I sing another verse for you? Listen. Jesus said to Martha, resurrection in the light. He never leaveth in me. Should have everlasting life. Yeah. Serve Jesus. Oh, serve him. Serve Jesus. Oh, serve him. Serve Jesus. You should serve him. You should serve him. Come on and put your hands together for me. Serve Jesus. Oh, serve him. Serve Jesus. Hey. You should serve him. You should serve him. Listen, I got a story for you. There's a story in the Bible days.
Welcome to Chelmsford Telemedia's coverage of Independence Day, direct from the Town Common in Chelmsford, Massachusetts.
And I have found the real deal here. Well, all right, so as we were saying, G.I. Joe before the G.I., right? So, Joe, tell me about your group here.
We're part of the 6th Middlesex Regiment, and we're actually formed as a replica unit from the 6th Middlesex Regiment that actually existed in 1774. We're composed of several towns, including Chelmsford. We're registered here as the Chelmsford Minutemen, because whichever town we're in, we go by that town name, of course. And we're all of 6th Middlesex, so all the towns there got together. And our main mission as a militia unit, we protected the towns against Indian attacks. Not so much against the British, because we were all British citizens, even though we housed some of the British soldiers by force. Now, as far as our outfits are concerned, we have the typical dress. Some of us have British weapons, muskets. They're called the Brown Besses. Those are the brass fittings. What I have is from France. It's French Charleville. And French Charleville was used in the French and American War, or French and Indian War, excuse me. And during the right after the Revolutionary War started, Martha Washington actually bought all of our weapons for us because George didn't have a lot of money and the Congress didn't have anything in the coffers, but Martha was rich.
So Martha put up the funds.
That's right. And a lot of people don't know that.
I did not know that. Go Martha.
Yeah, she's cool.
So talk to me about the details. I love what everyone is wearing, and it seems to be very authentically put together.
Yes, what we have is exact replicas. A lot of us make our own outfits. You can buy them. I told you a little bit about the weapon. A lot of us have tomahawks, which are supposed to have at least two other weapons. I also have a rifleman's knife, which is kind of like the Indiana Jones type knife, which is not small.
Yeah.
So it's for defense, because with the musket, you can only shoot maybe 3 rounds a minute. That's our rapid fire.
Yeah.
So when they're starting to come close and you don't have a bayonet, which a lot of us didn't have back then we use our other weapons to defend ourselves and to carry off the oncomers, the Indians or whatever.
Okay, so talk to me about the knee socks. Would it be better to just have long pants and short socks?
That's too much. Material costs so much money, and the knee socks are easy to clean. We wear these for months at a time. And the jackets, for example, I have a convertible jacket because I'm very poor. So when I'm working, I just take the sleeves off, because you can't take the jacket off, otherwise you'd be showing your underwear, because that's what's underneath is our nightshirt.
Right, because it was a completely different time. Now, I see that we got some fancy spats over there. Talk to me about the spats.
Well, the spats are used mostly by the farmers when they go out in the field to keep the burrs off of their legs. And they're also more easily washable. And also, if the snakes come out and bite, they can't bite through the spats too easy.
Oh, we don't really want to talk about those snakes.
No, and the shoes, believe it or not, our shoes, traditional ones, like the ones I have, fit on either one of the feet.
Stop it!
Yeah, because they didn't know how to make shoes for the left and right at the time. So they'd make just a basic pattern. Then when you put them on, you can get them all soaking wet. And then when they shrink, they kind of shrink to your form fit. And after a while, they kind of fit okay.
It sounds like they'd be kind of clumpy.
They're very uncomfortable.
All right, so talk to me about poor injured guy.
He has wounded. He's our wounded warrior. Of course, he's our drummer. Right now he has a messed up shoulder when he pulled a muscle on it. But
Oh, so he's actually wounded.
he actually is wounded. We're going to put some blood on him to make it a little bit more authentic, but we decided not to.
All right, way to make that injury work. All right, so what are we missing here?
Actually, we're missing our captain. I'm kind of like the second in charge. I used to be captain, but as the way we get to be captaincy, you either want to be captain and you get voted in, or you don't want to be captain. So I was captain for a while, and I said, okay, I've had enough. Who's going to be captain now? So they voted in another captain.
All right, we got the drum here and everything. You guys look very authentic. I love it. Have a great time marching today.
You too. Great talking with you.
For the Williamsport Crosscutters, Philadelphia Phillies affiliate, who are off to a 1-3 start, leading off and playing left field is Emmanuel Garcia. Luke Maglick is the right fielder batting second. Lucas Williams, the third baseman, hitting third. Derek Hall is the cleanup hitter tonight. He's also the designated hitter. Randy Encarnacion is the first baseman, batting fifth. Archimedes Gamboa, the shortstop, he will bat sixth. Hitting seventh is the catcher, Gregory Rivero. Luis Espirito Jr. is the second baseman, hitting eighth. Juan Luis, the center fielder, batting ninth. And on the mound this evening for the Crosscutters will be left-hander Bailey Falter.
Taking a look at the Lowell Spinners defensively, the first baseman is Tucker Tubbs at second. The man the Chaz talked to, that is Jagger Rasconi. Shortstop is Carlos Tovar. At third base, Victor Acosta. The outfield from left to right, Tyler Hill, Johan Ibar, I should say, and Matt McLean. The catcher is Nick Scortino. And on the mound, left-hander Darwinzon Hernandez. Hernandez stands 6'2", 180 pounds, played baseball the last couple of years in the Dominican Summer League. Last year with a 6-1 record and a 1.10 earned run average. He was terrific. 65 and a third innings, he allowed just 55 hits, 30 walks, and that's the troublesome number there. 66 strikeouts. One imagines, or one hopes anyway, that he's gotten a little bit better command. You don't want to see what would amount to 4 walks per 9 innings or 4.5 walks per 9 innings, but that's part of the process. Anyway, the left-hander finishing his warm-up, so we're just about set to start. And Emmanuel Garcia will stand in, Now,
Hernandez, Red Sox feel he's advanced enough that he has skipped the rookie Gulf Coast League to come directly here to Lowell after his year in the Dominican Summer League, just as Daniel Gonzalez, who's on this team, did a year ago. And Gonzalez made the jump nicely as he led the Spinners pitching staff in earned run average last year.
And Hernandez is a youngster. He made the jump. He is only 19 years of age, I believe. The left-hander standing in the right-handed hitting Emmanuel Garcia. First pitch to Garcia, fastball up and away. Garcia's the left fielder, hitting at .400. He's got 3 doubles. He has scored 5 runs. While Williamsport may not have created a lot of offense, he seems to have. Pitched to the plate. That's a breaking. Well.
Show number 2, y'all ready? Glad to be here in Lowell, folks. Nice to see you. Open up, baby, hit the double ball, man, that's a knock in. I want everybody that can do your son there, rock it. I want to get your Bobby suit on, put the jukebox close the view.